off and on, and I talk about some of these guys in the, I don't typically mention names, but in the toxic red pill community, it's just, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, to be honest with you. That's the reality. And the beauty, I live for myself and I answer to nobody. I don't take shit from anybody. And I'm certainly not going to put up with a bunch of beta males who don't know what they're talking about hating on me, or the girls I have on my channel, or my friends, or my family. And you shouldn't either. Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be why you should reject the toxic red pill. So I have an email success story, and this is from a guy who, he said he started following me about 5 years ago. And he says he's a good-looking, handsome dude. And when he was in high school, lots of women were telling him how good-looking and handsome he was, the hot cheerleaders. But he was, as he puts it, he was such a Disney nice guy that he always was getting friend-zoned. And then obviously 5 years ago, he came across this sweet little book with this shaved-haired dude on it named Coach Corey Wayne. Started applying what he learned in 3% Man and got amazing results. And then he came across the toxic red pill community. And he said he got immersed into it, became really bitter towards women, and his success with women plummeted. And then obviously he was very frustrated, came back to my work, started applying it, and things returned to normal. So it's a really good, interesting...
So before we go on in the video, I'm going to preface this by saying that I'm a fan of Coach Corey Wayne. I've been following him for years. Some of your favorite YouTube dating coaches have gotten their stuff from Coach Corey Wayne. One person in particular who I know is a big fan of Corey Wayne. I'm not saying that he's taking Corey Wayne's stuff, but he is a big fan. Alpha Male Strategies, for you guys who have been following him. Coach Corey Wayne, he puts out, it's time tested. He's been doing this for a minute. His stuff is spot on. It doesn't matter. His advice transcends color, race, all these different things, because pretty much all women are the same, and as men, we're pretty much all the same. And in terms of being that 3% man, because 97% of men, for the most part, don't know what the hell they're doing with women, which is basically what he's getting at. But when he's talking about this toxic red pill portion, he's talking about, and I know he's not referring to all of the red pill community or quote unquote red pill community. He's talking about a lot of these guys who are in the comments, as I like to call the he-man woman haters, who basically say that you have to just basically dislike women and how dare you take up for women and all this stuff like that. That's who he's referring to. He's referring to you clowns who do that. Only thing I don't like, and I'll say this and I'll let the video play. Only thing I really don't like about Corey Wayne is that a lot of the stuff that he has said, and he does have a few videos where he basically says, this woman is crazy or batshit crazy, but he does let women off the hook a lot of times. And basically it all falls back on you as the man. No matter what the woman does or how crazy she is, a lot of times it's going to fall back on you because you're the man. Even if she does something that's jacked up or dysfunctional or ghosting you or she's not able to communicate, it all goes back to being your fault. And that's one thing I don't agree with Corey Wayne about. But anyway, let's continue.
Success story from a guy, because I've talked about this off and on, and I talk about some of these guys in the, I don't typically mention names, but in the toxic red pill community, it's just, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, to be honest with you. That's the reality. And the beauty of truth is truth doesn't need any explanation. It doesn't have to prove itself. It's simply self-evident. And so when it comes, like what I always say to people is like, even if you think I'm full of crap, if you apply what I teach, you'll see that it works for you. You can Google my name. You can go in the Reddit forums. Even when people go and write websites or articles talking all kinds of crap about me, usually there'll be dozens and dozens of people that have followed me and gotten great results will go and reply to those. Go look at the reviews on my books. They speak for themselves. So I have a quote that I wrote on this fun topic because I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of people that are going to get upset about it, but I don't fucking...
And I already knew that. When I watched this video, I commented on his video. I said, man, they coming out the blue on you on this. They're gonna they're gonna be hitting you up about that by mentioning that, that topic. I don't know how many views it's at, but let's go.
I'm always going to speak my mind, and like Steve McQueen used to say, I live for myself and I answer to nobody. I don't take shit from anybody. And I'm certainly not going to put up with a bunch of beta males who don't know what they're talking about hating on me, or the girls I have on my channel, or my friends, or my family. And you shouldn't either. So, with that said, quote says, most of the red pill community on the internet is a collection of wounded men who don't understand women, haven't had any success with quality women, and guys with serious mommy and self-esteem issues. The hallmark of the toxic red pill community is their judgmental attitude and bitterness towards women that belittles them, infantilizes them, and seeks to build wounded, insecure men up by tearing women down with dehumanizing and condescending language, words, theories, and a cult-like belief in meaningless platitudes. As Zan Piran says, a man who loves women is loved by women. Real men take extreme ownership of their lives, choices, mistakes, blind spots, and poor romantic choices, because they know that is the only way to shape and change their destiny to reach their full potential. A man who blames others for his poor choices, knowledge gaps, and blind spots becomes unable to fix himself, his life, and become the man he needs to be to attract what he really wants and deserves in life. I think that's one of my favorite quotes of Zan's. A man who loves women is loved by women. That is absolutely true. So, with that said, let's go through his email. Corey, I found your work about how most of your audience does, I'm sure. After I Googled how to get her back, I watched nearly every video and have listened to your audiobook over 20 times. Although I never did get this girl back, you taught me much more important lessons that helped me attract even better women into my life. Well, for the guys that are trying to get an ex back, what I always say is you'll either attract her back or you get somebody better. It's as simple as that.
I love that. I love that quote by Corey, because a lot of guys get in this scarcity mindset and get fixated on one woman, not knowing that, when they try to get her back, hey, if you don't get her back, you just won't get her back, but you just will probably end up getting somebody better, most likely. And you have to think like that. It's that abundance mindset.
And like I said, all you gotta do is look at the reviews and read the reviews of my books. Speaks for themselves. Growing up, I was always a good-looking guy and had women approach me, but I was such a Disney nice guy that I would always get friend-zoned and frustrated. So this guy's a handsome dude, but yet you give off the wrong vibe, like I talk about in 3% Man, because I experienced this as well, and I'm just an average-looking dude. And when I look back on my time in high school, I remember women that I was friends with that I knew that I could tell they were into me, but I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I completely fumbled the football on just numerous occasions. And so for me personally, I love getting emails from guys that are in high school or college, and they didn't have to go through what I went through. They're having a great time. They're having great memories. They're forming their first girlfriends, or when they lose their virginity or whatever it happens to be. They're really having great experiences and great memories, whereas I missed out on most of that stuff, to be honest with you. I didn't have those kinds of great memories. That came later for me. All through school, I would have...
Same here. I didn't get to enjoy all of those things, in high school and whatnot. It happened later on, after being married, and then in my 30s, experiencing all those lost years and things that I should have done early on instead of getting married early and having kids.
When the prettiest cheerleaders say they thought I was cute and good looking, but I had no idea how to behave around women because my dad was never really there to teach me. So I would fail horribly and think maybe there was something wrong with me, or maybe that girl just wasn't the one, or even worse, that if I'm her friend long enough, she'll eventually realize I'm perfect for her. He says, yeah, I was that guy, and I used to wait for his shot. I tried that too. That didn't work. However, since finding your work at 30 years old, I have now had numerous women from TV anchors to beauty queens enter my life and go crazy over me. I'm sure that's just really tough to deal with. I'm writing to you, though, because you actually saved me from the red pill. He says, here comes the hate mail. I'm used to it, dude. Fuck them if they can't take a joke, as Mick Jagger said. And got me back in touch with your teachings. YouTube algorithms introduced me to red pill guys a couple of years ago. And while there are some good takeaways from works like The Rational Male, which I think is a good book and every man should read, me personally, over time, I found my success with women deteriorate in correlation to my bitterness from the red pill community. And that's the problem with it. I had no issue meeting women, but I found myself getting into more drama and bullshit than before, but closing the indoor Olympics less. Probably because they could feel my negative energy from that. That is exactly why. Women are very intuitive. They're much more connected to their...
And you guys who are all into that far right red pill, like extremely far right, it does when you're sitting down with a woman, sometimes you can't, because you believe these things, and when you start interacting with her, you letting this stuff off, you're exuding this from you, and you're basically making her feel like she's less than, or that you really hate women, so to speak. Instead of conducting yourself, like a suave, keeping it player, treating her like a lady and enjoying your night, so that you can have a good night and then eventually lead to the bedroom. Nah, you letting this stuff out, and you want to start talking about what you know, and I know this about women, and you are this way, kind of like y'all homie that be quoting statistics and stuff to women. Women don't want to hear that shit.
Emotions than us guys are, and they can feel your energy. It's your vibe, ain't your looks. I honestly started to hate the person I had become. In the past months, I have taken a step back from all of that and revisited your teachings to see where I started down this path and where I might have gone wrong. I happily found that you too pointed out in recent videos that the community has grown very toxic. Since readjusting my outlook and being a Corey Wayne board-again student, I have seen my success with women return, probably because I got rid of that chip on my shoulder that they could sense. Absolutely, your vibe totally changed. Back to one of truth and kindness. Not being too nice, kind but dangerous. Dangerous masculinity. And I am now once again having beauty queens travel from other cities to see me again. Not an exaggeration, I'll send pics. Thank you for turning this once hapless Disney nice guy into a man that my best friends envy. I can honestly say you saved my life. Thank you, and don't call me Bob. You're welcome, Bob. Congratulations. And as far as you saying I saved your life, you did that, dude. You did the work, and you need to give yourself credit for that. All I did was show you the way. Because knowledge, obviously knowledge from a great book like 3% Man, Mastering Yourself, a book of self-reliance, and obviously my latest, Quotes, Ruminations, and Contemplations. It's all potential power. It doesn't help you unless you actually apply it. You must participate in your own rescue.
If I could repeat that, or if I could tell you guys to repeat that to yourself, repeat that one over and over. You must participate. You must come to your own rescue, guys. You have to come to your own rescue instead of sitting there sulking, watching these videos. It's the woman, it's the woman, it's the woman. It's not my fault. It's the woman. Stop it. Get out there. Start approaching. Don't be scared. Don't be concentrated on the outcome. Just do it. That's so much of us get caught up in the outcome of things instead of just doing it. Oh, she's not gonna blow your head off, guys.
And if you're following some of those guys, those toxic red pill guys that just complain about single moms and how all women are horrible, it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, if you see assholes everywhere in your life, and no matter where you go, you're running into nothing but assholes, well, guess what? You're the asshole. And it's always important to keep your life an asshole-free zone. You get these sweet mugs at teespring.com, the Coach Corey Wayne store.
Corey stay plugging away. You know what I'm saying? He goes for this, then he got the books, then throw the asshole reference to pop the cup up. No drama allowed.
As a gentle reminder to yourself and the people around you of how you roll. Like the late great Steve McQueen said, I live for myself and I answer to nobody.